Hi guys, today it's time for me to share all of the products that I've used up recently, my empties. Also, I did get a trim today, so my hair is back to being super short. Makes me feel like extra sassy. Anyway, so this is the Raw Sugar, the Moisture Smoothie Conditioner for dry hair. I did not enjoy this. I'm really glad that it's finished because I was getting really tired of using this. I am glad I tried it though because I think it taught me something important, which is that when it comes to conditioners, whether it's a regular conditioner, a hair mask, a leave-in conditioner, any type of conditioning hair product, it needs to have some kind of silicones in it for me to like it. Silicones just make my hair feel so silky and soft and smooth. I think that's really the key ingredient that when I look at all the hair products that I've enjoyed over the years, the ones I've enjoyed contain silicones, whether it's dimethicone or whatever other kind of silicones. So I wouldn't buy this again. I didn't think it was awful. Like, obviously we used it up, but I just didn't feel like it did anything. Another conditioner. This actually, Nathan was influenced by TikTok to try this, Mane and Tail. I remember trying Mane and Tail like way back in high school. I feel like it was kind of trending back then, and maybe it's having a little bit of a resurgence now on social media, but this is the Mane and Tail Deep Moisture Conditioner. This actually does have dimethicone in it, so it does have a form of silicone. I thought this was fine. I don't think Nathan really was that into it. I don't know, I just thought it was fine. Like, I liked it better than the Raw Sugar one, but I didn't feel like it did anything remarkable for my hair either, and I also just don't find the scent of this very exciting, and that's really the thing that makes me excited to use hair products. But while we're talking hair, this is the Nizoral Anti-Dandruff Shampoo. This is a ketoconazole anti-dandruff shampoo. So I think this is the first ketoconazole shampoo that I've tried. In the past, I've used like zinc pyrithione or selenium sulfide. So I did enjoy this actually. It's kind of a small bottle, and the name brand of this is pretty expensive, and I don't think Walmart, which is usually where we buy our like personal care products, I don't think they have a generic version of this. So I didn't repurchase this, and the main reason I didn't repurchase this wasn't because it wasn't effective. It actually was quite effective at cutting down on dandruff, but they say that you are only supposed to use this every 3 to 4 days, so like twice a week. I think you could use it more often, but it can be kind of drying to the hair. So I tried to stick to the every 3 to 4 days thing, but the thing is, I like to wash my hair every day, and I've found that I really need to use some kind of anti-dandruff shampoo most days that I wash it. Also, the scent of this is extremely generic. Like, it smells like public restroom hand soap. That's exactly what it smells like to me. I mean, you know, I get that it's supposed to be like a very medical type of product, so they're probably not putting a whole lot of effort into the fragrance experience of it, which is understandable, but I don't find it very exciting. So I didn't end up repurchasing this one. I ended up instead actually buying the Dove men's anti-dandruff shampoo. It's like a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, which I've been using as kind of a scalp mask, and then sometimes I'll also double shampoo and go in with a clarifying shampoo after that. So I know that sounds like shampoo overkill for a lot of people, but for me, I actually feel like my hair and scalp are much better off when I shampoo daily, and sometimes I even double shampoo because I just like having clean scalp. Okay, I think that's all the hair care. So moving into some body care now. We used up the Tree Hut Coco Colada Foaming Gel Wash. This is supposed to be a pineapple coconut scent. Wasn't that into this scent. I might like it more in the body scrub. Is it just me, or do the Tree Hut body scrubs smell better than the body washes? Like, there's just something about the body scrubs that they just have more body to them. And the scents of the body scrubs from Tree Hut also kind of linger on the skin, but I don't get that from the body washes. I think I've only tried this scent and the Tropic Glow body wash scent, so maybe some of the other body washes from Tree Hut are better. Let me know if you've tried others and have a different experience. I do feel like with this lid, it's kind of hard not to almost squeeze out too much. Like, you kind of get like a huge glob whenever you squeeze it out. And so I felt like we went through this bottle kind of quickly, even though it's a pretty big bottle, 18 fluid ounces. Didn't end up repurchasing a body wash from Tree Hut. Instead, I got one from Dove that has a pump, and I think that one was just a little bit more cost effective. And I do find that with pump bottles, it's a little bit easier to not pump out way more than you need at a time. This bottle, it's such a pretty bottle. It's like a nice metallic silver, but we have hard water here, and so it is just covered in hard water stains. It looks so gross because we had it in our shower. So this is the Prequel Cleanser, non-drying glycerin cleanser for face and body. Loved this. Definitely would repurchase this. This just had such a delightful texture. It's this kind of like slimy, I know that sounds gross, but it's this kind of like slimy, clear, very glycerin based cleanser, and it just feels so nice on the skin. It really does cleanse the skin, but it doesn't feel dry or stripping. You can also use it on the body, and it's a nice big bottle, so you could do that. I prefer to use scented body washes, and I also just wanted to reserve this as a face wash just because, you know, I didn't want to go through it too quickly. But yeah, I think this is fantastic. I have loved everything I've tried so far from Prequel. I think this brand is just amazing. And they're now sold in Target, which is really exciting. Also used up another of the Equate Acne Wash. This has 10% benzoyl peroxide. This, I think, is like the third or fourth one of these that we've used up. I actually don't use this on the face. I use it more so on the body. So sometimes I get folliculitis on my underarms, and I also get acne on my chest and upper back. So those are the main places I use it, and I kind of treat it like a mask almost. So when I first get in the shower, I will just kind of slather this on, let it sit for a minute or so, and then rinse it off. You have to be sure to go in with a regular body wash or soap after this to really make sure it's rinsed off completely, because if there's any of this remaining on your skin, even if you think it's gone, it'll bleach your towels. So you have to be careful with that. With any benzoyl peroxide, they can bleach fabrics, so just keep that in mind. But as long as I use this before my regular body wash, I'm fine. And it really does help a lot with body acne and folliculitis. I did decide to try the Panoxyl, which is the name brand of this. This is like the generic of Panoxyl. And I decided to try the foaming one rather than the cream one. So this is a non-foaming cleanser. And I actually think I do prefer the Panoxyl. Also because I feel like we go through these tubes really quickly. And I don't know if it has to do with the texture of it, or I mean, I think it's the same amount as Panoxyl, but I feel like the Panoxyl foaming cleanser has been lasting us so much longer. Yeah, these Equate ones just seem to run out really quickly for some reason. So I think I'll probably stick with the Panoxyl, also because I kind of like being able to lather it on. It just feels like I get like a more even application of it. All right, next for some moisturizers. Nathan actually used this one up. This is the Pureo B5 Panthenol Re-Barrier Cream. He always cuts his tubes into like 3 pieces. I'm not really sure the rationale there, but he said he liked this. It was okay, but not his favorite because he felt like it kind of left a little bit of a film or residue on his skin, and he really prefers for moisturizers to like sink in and not be noticeably sitting on the skin. So that is what I will say about that, since I didn't try it. One that I did try that, I don't know, I didn't love it. This is the Axis Y, another Panthenol 10 Skin Smoothing Shield Cream. I just didn't, I don't know, like I liked it enough to use it up. I also used it on my body to use it up faster because I just wasn't loving this on my face. I just felt like it was a little bit, it just wasn't quite enough. Wasn't quite enough hydration. I was reading about Axis Y, and apparently this brand is really geared towards people with acne prone oily skin. I do have acne prone skin, but not so oily. I mean, it can lean combo sometimes, but I would not describe my skin type as super oily. So it could just be that this isn't quite the right type of moisturizer for me. It did have a cream texture, and it had a texture that normally I would like in a moisturizer, but I don't know, there was just, it wasn't bad, but it just didn't wow me either, so I wouldn't repurchase this. Okay, another moisturizer. This is the Be Poised Neck and Décolleté Firming Cream from Maylis. This I received in PR along with the boob serum, which I am still using. The main thing I liked about this was the scent. It did smell really good, and I feel the same way about the boob serum. Like, they smell really good, and that's kind of the main appeal. But I don't know, I wouldn't go out of my way to buy this or any neck cream for that matter, because I think my face cream does a fine enough job. So, you know, I just feel like it's like an extra product that is not really necessary. But if you wanted a specific product for that, like, I don't think it's gonna harm you, you know? Okay, then we have some retinols. First up, my prescription Tretinoin. I use the 0.025%. And I wish I had started on the 0.025%. When I first started Tretinoin back in 2022, for some reason my dermatologist put me on the 0.05, and I had just a miserable time adjusting to it for like 2 years. I waited it out for 2 years, and then finally when I had a doctor's appointment with just my primary care doctor, I asked if they could refill that prescription, but instead give me the 0.025, and I am so much happier with the 0.025. I feel like now I can actually use other actives if I ever want to. I still don't use other actives very often, but my skin is just so much less sensitive ever since switching to the 0.025%. So if you're on Tretinoin, and I still feel like I get the same results that I did from the 0.05, just without all the irritation and the peeling and just the increased sensitivity. So if you are in the same boat, highly recommend bumping down to the 0.025 if you can. Then this, sometimes I'll receive retinol serums and other retinol products in PR, and so usually I will designate those to be my neck chest and hand retinols, because those are also some of the first places to show signs of aging. So I just use the prescription on my face, and then the non-prescription ones I think tend to be a little bit more gentle, a little bit less heavy duty. So I think that's good for the neck skin, which can sometimes be kind of, you know, more sensitive than the face. So this is from the brand Medicate. It's the Crystal Retinol 3. I think they have a few different levels, and this is the lowest strength that they have. I actually really enjoyed this, and sometimes I would use this on my face too if I felt like my face was like a little bit on the verge of becoming sensitized. I didn't want to go in with the full-blown tretinoin, but I still wanted a retinol on my face. I would use this, and it was a little bit more gentle even than the prescription. And then of course I would also use it on my neck, my chest, and the backs of my hands as well. And I mean, you know, it's always hard to say if something is giving you visible results, but for starters, I really enjoyed the texture of this. This had almost like a lotion kind of texture, and it really gave like an immediate smoothed out, blurred out effect to whatever skin I put it on, which I just thought was kind of nice. You know, sometimes retinol serums can just be a little bit finicky or weird, but this had just a really elegant texture. It does have a little bit of a scent, kind of smells like cinnamon sugar or something. It's a pleasant scent. I didn't find the scent irritating, but it is scented if you are looking to avoid fragrance. And I definitely felt like the backs of my hands, ever since I started being more diligent with retinol and then alternating with just like a regular hand cream on other nights, my hands have just been super soft. So I think it does make a difference. So yeah, I enjoyed that if you're looking for a non-prescription retinol. I also used up a vitamin C serum from Paula's Choice. This is their 25% vitamin C plus glutathione clinical serum. Okay, Paula's Choice, their packaging, I don't know if they have changed manufacturers or what, but a lot of their recent products, the letters on the packaging wear off so easily. This one isn't quite as bad as a moisturizer I had a while back. I think it was the moisturizer in the dark blue pump bottle. But it can be really annoying when I'm, you know, just trying to apply my skincare and I look down and there's like a letter M and a letter S on my fingers, and I have to like try to pick them off and not like rub them onto my skin along with my skincare. Anyway, that's just a gripe I have recently with Paula's Choice. I hope they do something about that because their products didn't used to do that. And I know I've heard some people say like, well, it has to do with the other products that you're using that you have on your fingers and it's rubbing off the letters. Well, I don't care because none of my other skincare does that. Skincare products should be able to hold up to residue that you have on your fingers, because usually when you're applying something, I'm not going to wash my hands in between every step of my skincare routine. It's just not going to happen. I got this in PR, but for that reason alone, I kind of don't want to buy anything new from Paula's Choice. I've been a huge Paula's Choice fan for over a decade now. Like, I've been using them since college, and I've always loved their products, but I don't know. I know they changed ownership a few years ago, and now they're owned by, I think it's Estee Lauder, and people have said, you know, they felt like the products have gone downhill since then. I don't know about the products or the formulations themselves, but the packaging, something with the new packaging is just not good. Oh yeah, see, now there's a tiny letter D on my finger. I just don't have the patience for that. Anyway, the product itself, I ended up using this on my neck, chest, and hands because my face skin just does not get along well with vitamin C, and I don't even really think I need a vitamin C serum. I know, like, people act like vitamin C is like a must-have step. My understanding is vitamin C is supposed to kind of even out your skin tone, maybe help to lighten dark spots. I don't really have dark spots or, knock on wood, sun damage on my face, so I just don't know if I'm necessarily the target market for vitamin C, and I always just feel like whenever I use vitamin C, my skin gets irritated and it breaks out. So I tried this on my face a couple times. I just felt like my skin was like extra sensitive afterwards. So whenever that happens with any skincare product, if it's just not getting along well with my face, I'll just downgrade it to a neck and hand serum. So that's what I did with this. Used it up that way. I thought this had a nice texture, kind of like a lotion-y texture, but honestly, I just wouldn't recommend it because of the packaging. The letters come off so easily. Also used up a packet of the Peach Slices Acne Spot Dots. This is actually one of the most affordable pimple patch options that I've seen. I don't really notice huge differences between different brands of pimple patches. I feel like they all kind of do the same thing, and that's how I felt about this one. One thing I have discovered, I think, with any kind of pimple patch is that they really work best on pimples that have come to the surface already, and even more so on open pimples. Now, I'm not saying that you should pop your pimples before you put a patch on. Like, don't do that. Don't pop your pimples. But if a pimple pops on its own, that's the time to put a patch on it, because that'll just draw all of that gunk out of there. But with pimples or like cystic spots that are under the surface, pimple patches don't really do a whole lot for those in my experience. If anyone has found a pimple patch that works well for under the surface pimples, let me know, but I find they really work best for ones that have already surfaced, and really ones that are like open wounds. I know it sounds gross, but you know what I'm saying. I kind of just bounce around from brand to brand just to try different ones. Right now I'm using the ones from Curology. Really liking those, actually. Those might be my favorites so far. One more thing. Pimple patches can be great for ingrown hairs, and they can also be really good for bug bites. If you get a bug bite, put one of these on there immediately, and it will really calm down the itchiness. It'll also just stop you from scratching a bug bite, which is really like the worst thing you can do, even though it's so hard not to scratch. So highly recommend that as a tip. Okay, I have 3 sunscreens plus a sunscreen sample. So this was actually part of my little non-makeup project pan that I'm doing, which I introduced in my last reset day vlog. I'll link that below if you want to see. But actually 2 of these, or no, 3 of these were part of that project pan that I've now used up. Granted, these were the kind of gimme items that I was pretty much going to use up anyway, but still. So this is the Supergoop Every Single Face Watery Lotion with SPF 50. This I just got like 1 use out of it, so it's kind of hard to tell with just a tiny sample like this. But observations from just trying this one time. Very glowy, very, very shiny. Not nearly as watery as I expected, and I don't know if that's, maybe it's different in like the full size versus the sample, but I found it to be more of like a somewhat runny cream, and it did burn my eyes. But that's the case with most chemical sunscreens like this, so that is not one that I would repurchase. I much prefer Asian chemical sunscreens, but glad I got to try it. Speaking of Asian chemical sunscreens, which is what the rest of these are, this one I actually did a YouTube short on it right before it was empty, because I felt like it needed like a dedicated short on it. This is the Skin 1004 or 1004. I don't know, I'm not sure how you're supposed to say it. Madagascar Centella Hyaluronic Water Fit Sun Serum with SPF 50+. This is just amazing. I love the pump of it too. I will say, when you get to the end, it's still worth cutting open, because I definitely had another good use left in it. I ended up using most of it on my body, just because once I cut open a sunscreen, I want to use all of it right then, because I don't want to leave it exposed to air. But this is a wonderful sunscreen. I've also heard so many other people rave about this one, so I think it's a pretty safe bet. It's also like under $10 typically on YesStyle. I think it's like usually $9, but last time I checked it was marked down to $7. So just a really affordable sunscreen. Really lightweight, sinks in immediately. I feel like it does serve as a moisturizer and a sunscreen for me. If you have severely dry skin, you may still want to layer a moisturizer underneath. I love this. There's no white cast. It also plays really well with makeup, and it's one of those sunscreens that doesn't feel like sunscreen, and that's what I love so much about it. Another Korean chemical sunscreen, this is the Purito Daily Soft Touch Sunscreen with SPF 50+. This one has a little bit more thickness to it. It's a little bit more moisturizing. If you have really dry skin, I think this would be a great choice. I really enjoyed it. This is another one that definitely takes the place of moisturizer. If you just want a one-step moisturizer and sunscreen in one, this is great for that. Another absolute banger here, this is the Benton Airfit UV Defense Sun Cream, also SPF 50+. This one actually Nathan stole for me. I mean, he didn't steal it. I let him use it, because I'm just happy when he enjoys skincare. And he loved this. Like, I think this was one of his top favorite sunscreens of all time, and he is pickier than I am when it comes to sunscreen. Like I said, he really hates the feeling of anything sitting on top of his skin, and he also has facial hair. But despite all of that, he loved this one. This does have a little bit of a fragrance to it, kind of like a fir tree kind of scent, mixed with maybe a little citrus. I don't know. It's not overpowering, but there is definitely a scent to it, whereas those other two are fragrance-free. But a really nice lightweight kind of gel cream texture is how I would describe this. Just a beautiful sunscreen. More so than the other two, this one I would describe as a gel cream, so just really lightweight, sinks in immediately. Of course, no white cast. If you are somebody that normally just hates the feeling of sunscreen, you feel like you just don't like wearing sunscreen, try a few Korean sunscreens, because I think you will change your mind after that. Couple of lip products. I used up the Lawless Forget the Filler Overnight Lip Plumping Mask in Juicy Watermelon. I love Flawless lip products. I've said it before and I'll say it again. They really are like the grown-up, elevated version of lip smackers. If you enjoy fun, scented lip products, but you want it to feel like a luxurious experience, Flawless is the way to go. I've had another scent of this in the past. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was strawberry. Something strawberry. Also smelled amazing. These lip masks do have a little bit of like that plumping tingle. I wouldn't even describe it as a tingle. It's kind of like that warm feeling that some lip plumpers have, which when I very first tried this product kind of concerned me a little bit, because sometimes I can find those types of products to be a little bit drying or irritating, but that's not the case with this at all. I wear this as a nighttime lip mask, and when I wake up in the morning, my lips are soft, hydrated, smooth, not chapped, so it really does do what I want a nighttime lip balm to do, and I've kind of grown to enjoy that sort of warming feeling that it has. Definitely recommend these lip masks. I just enjoy them so much. I'm gonna go ahead and call this an empty as well. This is the Minori lip gloss in the shade Cozy. You can see, I mean, it is like almost completely scraped out. I will make sure to remove the stopper and use up the last little bits, but I'm gonna go ahead and include it in today's empties because I'm ready to call it an empty. I feel like I've been working on this for a long time. I enjoy this, but it's not like my favorite lip gloss formula. It's a very thin formula. It feels more so like a lip balm, or like a cross between a lip oil and a lip balm. It doesn't have a ton of thickness to it, and I kind of do prefer for my lip glosses to be a little bit on the thicker side because it just gives them a little bit more adherence, and I just feel like they last longer on the lips. This is not going to be a very long-lasting lip gloss. It does have a really beautiful color to it. It's like a really sheer bronzy color. I love when lip glosses have this type of shade to them, but you can see it's not the most glossy gloss by any means, which I think fits with the Minori brand because this is meant to be kind of like a minimalist, no makeup brand, and that really is what this feels like. It feels more of like a lip balm. It's kind of one of those things that now that I've used it up, I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't seek it out again, you know? Oh, and I forgot to say, I actually do have this on my lips right now on top of the, well, I have two other things underneath it, the BK Beauty lip liner in Warm Spice and the e.l.f. O Face lipstick in No Doubt. So a nice kind of fall nude lip combo. I am liking it. I have had this in my purse since like 2020, I think. This is the Skylar Soothing Hand Sanitizer in the Beach House scent. I don't even know if Skylar is still selling hand sanitizers. I guess I can look that up. Okay, no, they are no longer selling their hand sanitizers, and it looks like this scent is no longer sold in even in any of their perfumes. So I guess, you know, I don't really know why anyone would be looking for a review on this, but I did enjoy these Skylar hand sanitizers, and even though I am allergic to like spray-on perfumes, I didn't have an allergic reaction to the hand sanitizer. So I don't have any explanation for that. My theory is that it's not the actual fragrance ingredients that I'm allergic to, but it's one of the base ingredients that they use in perfumes that I'm allergic to. But I did like the scent. It was a very like beachy, yeah, I would say, it says breezy, tranquil, uplifting. I would say that sounds pretty accurate. It's kind of like a clean, fresh, beachy scent. So that was nice. And then the last thing I wanted to share is actually a toothpaste. I don't usually put toothpaste in my empties videos just because I feel like most people are here to hear about the beauty, but I wanted to share this because we've gone through countless of this toothpaste at this point. This is the one that we are always repurchasing. It's the Burt's Bees Charcoal and Whitening Fluoride Toothpaste, and it's just a really good toothpaste. It has a great flavor. It does have like a black color to it because of the charcoal, but it rinses down the sink really easily. Like, it doesn't stain the sink or anything, and it just tastes really good. Also, Nathan is really sensitive to SLS in toothpaste, so we always go for toothpaste that don't have that, and this does not have SLS. So yeah, it's a winner. We love this. So those are all of my empties, really just from the last month and a half. Usually I do my empties 3 months at a time. This would have been massive if it had been 3 months worth. I feel like I've just been using up a lot of products lately. I'm kind of at that point where a lot of my products are running low, so I feel like my next empties is also going to be really big, so get excited for that. That'll be at the end of the year. We only have 3 more months left of this year, which is nuts. Absolutely nuts. It's getting dark so much earlier now. We haven't even hit daylight savings yet. Wow, wild times we're living in. Before I sign off, I wanted to make a really quick announcement. So I actually just started a part-time job. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be just a good change for me across the board. So I'm going to be working about 15 to 20 hours a week. which is great because I can continue devoting full-time-ish hours to YouTube. So I'm kind of just getting adjusted to my new schedule right now. So I wanted to say that for the time being, you can expect at least one video a week from me, but I'm hoping to make that more in the future, especially as we get into Vlogmas season. I'm still not sure exactly what I'm doing for Vlogmas, but I think once again this year I'm going to be doing my Vlogmas in November. So that's the plan. Definitely still, you know, figuring it out, but just wanted to give you that quick update. But thank you so much for watching my empties video and for hanging out with me today. I hope you had fun. If you are enjoying my content and you want to support my channel, a great way to do that is to join my Patreon or channel membership. I do 2 exclusive videos on there every month, including a vlog, and a huge shout out to all of my existing patrons and channel members. You guys are the best and I appreciate your support so much. And thank you all so much for your support by watching, liking, subscribing, commenting. All of those things also help me out immensely. So thank you all so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and I'll talk to you very soon.